Weight of It All, Part 5, 18 years. I can't believe it's been that long since we lost you. Mike, I miss you every day. And I think it's finally time to share how your life shaped mine. I remember the first time you took me to the gym. I was 13 and you rolled up in that black Mustang, the engine rumbling as you pulled into my driveway. "Let's go, Biggie," you said. And I hopped in, unsure of what the day would bring. We drove up to Chimo Pool, and as we walked into the gym, I could feel eyes on me. I wasn't used to places like this, but you slapped me on the shoulder and grinned. "Come on, Biggie, let's lift some weights." Something inside me shifted that day. A rush of energy, like no one could hurt me anymore. Those bullies? They weren't gonna push me around. And the kids at Ioco? They were about to know who I was. After the workout, you told me to step on the scale. I hesitated, embarrassed. "Nah, I'm good," I muttered, but you weren't having it. Another guy named Mike was there, one of those names everyone in Coquitlam knew, and I couldn't back out now. Reluctantly, I stepped on. 301.3 pounds. The number hit me like a punch to the gut. My knees felt weak, and all I wanted to do was run out of there and cry. But before I could, you grabbed my shoulder, your voice full of energy and pride. "Biggie, you're a monster." 300 pounds at 13 and natural. "You're lucky, brother. This kid's gonna be something special." The whole gym heard it. And suddenly, the embarrassment faded. Instead of mocking me, people were congratulating me. It was the first time I felt pride in my size. Maybe all those hours changing. Semi-tires at my dad's shop were paying off after all. You kept picking me up after that. Taking me out for donaires on Austin. Talking about life, mentoring me. You were the big brother I never had but always needed. And then came that day at Ioco. I remember it so clearly. There was this older student, he knows who he is, standing by the walkway, calling me every name he could think of. His friend, a girl from Mayardville, was just as bad, acting like she was straight out of a different world, talking down to me. I kept my head down, trying to ignore them. Then I heard it. The sound of rocks crunching under tires. The rumble of an engine stopping. I knew that sound. Your Mustang. The bullies turned and I saw their faces change. They knew who you were. Everyone did. You weren't supposed to be there. Almost like some urban legend showing up in real life. They smiled, walking up to your window, trying to act cool. "What's up, man?" You looked at them, then at me, and with a steady voice you said, "Just picking up my little bro from school. Hope you guys are looking out for him. He's family to me." Their smiles faded. The energy shifted. From that day on, they never messed with me again. If anything, they became almost respectful. I remember climbing into the passenger seat, quiet. "You good, Biggie?" you asked as we drove down Ioco Road. I told you what had happened. "Biggie," you said, shaking your head. "Don't worry about those guys. One day you'll be miles ahead of them. Just wait and see." And in that moment, as I lit my Export A Gold cigarette, I felt untouchable. Life went on, and we lost touch. I moved to Surrey, got caught up in my own world. And then one day, sitting in my mom's kitchen, I got the text. You were gone. A coward took your life. I wasn't there that night, but over the years I've heard the stories. And no matter how many times I hear them, it never makes sense. I remember your funeral, the burial, the screams of pain, Ronnie hugging me, his voice thick with emotion. "Biggie, Mike loved you, man. Don't forget that." I stood there long after everyone else had left, staring at the ground, asking myself why. Why couldn't I have done more? Could I have helped you? But I was just a kid. There was nothing I could have done. Today I stopped at the convenience store and bought some flowers. Then I headed to the John B to bring you a drink. My son Michael sat in the front seat, Maverick in the back. And as Tupac's Life Goes On played through the speakers, I thought back to when I was their age, sitting in your passenger seat, looking up to you. Now I was the one driving, bringing my sons to visit the man who had shaped me. I stood at your grave, told them stories about you. Then I looked at my oldest boy, the one who carries your name. "You don't just have my last name," I told him. "You carry something more, a legacy." As tears ran down my face, I spoke words meant only for you. And somehow, after all these years, here I stood. A changed man, a man who had endured so much pain but still stood tall, still smiling, still surrounded by love. And in another twist of fate, life found a way to bring us full circle. My little girl Meadow started daycare today, and guess who helped us find the right place? Michael's brother Eli, a Boyd and a Boutros, together again. 18 years later, your legacy lives on. Thank you for everything, Mike. Love always. Your friend. Biggie.